What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Psychotic Street Builds. For all you new subscribers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Man, that don't get old. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about my 2012 Lexus ISF that we recently put air suspension on. It was from AIRLIFT. The management was 3P. If you guys haven't already watched the first installation video on this thing, go ahead and check that out. I'll put the link right there. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and give a 15,000 mile review on this thing, and I'll let you guys know the pros to it, the cons to it, and at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know if it's all worth it or not. For those of you who didn't watch the install video of this thing, make sure you guys go check that out. But for those of you who did watch that video, let's go ahead and give you guys an update. Now, we did make one change to the car, and that was in the trunk. Let's go ahead and get in there. Now, we did install this hardwood floor down. Now, the point of this, guys, is I didn't want to mount all this stuff to my existing floorboard and create holes in it and, you know, just kind of mess up the car. So I pretty much laid this piece of plywood down, laid this guy, cut it to where how your trunk is, and we pretty much mounted everything into here instead of drilling into my existing trunk. Kind of saved the car a little bit, guys, you know. But yeah, guys, that's about the only changes we made to the car. Let me know what you guys think about my trunk setup in the comment section. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and go for a drive, and we'll give you guys our full review on what we think about the kit.
All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and go for that drive, try to give you guys a review on obviously you guys aren't here in the car, so you guys can't technically feel what we're feeling, but we're gonna go ahead and give you guys our opinion on how the car rides compared to stock and compared to other cars. So make sure you guys stick through, and we'll update you guys when we get on the main road. What's your personal opinion on this kit? What differences would you say there is from the factory suspension to this suspension?
Well, I feel in every case, well, 9 out of 10 times, nothing ever rides like factory. Let's get that out there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of money in research and development spent, especially in the F division, to make the suspension for the specific car.
Right, and I do feel like when I first bought this car, I feel like the suspension was already stiff as is. I don't know if that was just my personal opinions or maybe from previous cars I've had, but I always thought the suspension was pretty stiff when I first got it. So
I guess it makes sense because it is a luxury sports sedan.
Right.
So they want to make it stiff.
So even when we first installed this kit, I know me and Daniel had to turn down the dampening, and we softened it up. And after we softened it up, it got a little smoother, but I feel like it could get a little more soft. So I think after this drive, we're gonna go ahead and soften it up all the way. Maybe make a difference, or maybe halfway through this video we'll soften it up.
Yeah, maybe, you know, try it out and see what happens. By softening up, guys, he means the dampening. I think it's 9 clicks in the rear towards from 9 clicks from the soft side, so towards tightening side. Yeah, so I mean, it's riding pretty nice. Obviously it is a little bouncier. I mean, I can't really say bouncier because this car was pretty already stiff, but it is definitely a little less forgiving, but it definitely doesn't bottom out. What do you think about body door? Does it have, like, you know, does the steering response still the same?
Yeah, I feel like all that's the same. Now, yeah. The only thing, the reason why I say this rides a little more stiffer, I'm comparing it to your car, actually.
My car?
Yeah,
okay,
your car rides like, I don't know, maybe it's the way the suspension is set up in the back, maybe
yeah,
that could have something
my
to do
car,
with
actually, guys, let me see his, where's your controller at?
So his controller, his ride setting's around 77 in the front and about 70 in the rear, plus or minus.
Mine is actually 45 to 50 in the front and 70 in the rear. So I don't know if the pressure in the back probably has somewhat to do with it. I guess it acts like a the spring rate adjustability. I mean, a different spring rate. So it could be that. We basically set the suspension on this car. Like, we can air it out as much as we can, and then use the back pressure to set the ride height, I guess you can say. The right way would be to go off AIRLIFT's suggested back pressure, and then you adjust your ride height from there with the actual coilover. So we kind of did it the opposite, but you know, so you know, as you guys can see, it's a little bouncy. We aren't on the best roads, but you know, it's still a little pretty on the soft side.
I'll try to soften it up, maybe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull into this neighborhood coming up. And I don't know if anyone knows or if people are wondering, on this we can actually soften up the rear from outside the car, from underneath. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and turn it all the way soft. We'll take that same route and we'll see how it rides, if there's any difference or if it actually makes it worse or better. You do have to get down and dirty, guys. 2, 3.
Go all the way left.
Yeah, that's all the way soft right there. All right, let's count on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is a knob right here, guys. Let me try to get a camera in there for you guys. Right. Oh, it's kind of hard to see right here in between that. So we're gonna soften it all the way up. Let's go ahead and go for a test drive.
I will say their controller is very nice. They have presettings right here, as you guys can see. You know, you could have a show height, ride height, you know, show mode. A lot of adjustability with this controller, but I will say this controller is pretty nice.
All right, guys, so we went ahead and softened the rear up all the way. You know, the car did ride fine, but we're just playing around with it just to see if it does help it out a little. Maybe it's gonna make it a little worse, but who knows? We'll find out. It's pretty easy to adjust. So yeah, guys, so a lot of destruction from that weather we had here in North California.
The signal would be nice, guys. Come on, man.
And make sure you guys use your turn signal. You know, there's a lot of idiots in California that drive BMWs, if you know what I mean. They don't use their turn signals. Damn BMW drivers.
Finally, a BMW driver using their blinker.
Ooh, the trigger. Did it soften it up already?
I feel
a lot. Like, I don't feel the bumps in the road as much.
You think softening up the front will? Well, the back's more of like,
it's looser. I mean, it's just a lot less weight too. So the front can be. Where's the front at right now?
7. So if that was at 9, the front was at 7.
Well, the front you don't want to go. The front you don't want too soft because it could bottom out then. Maybe hit a big pothole. But then again, I'm not no genius when it comes to suspension. I just know softer means, hey, ride will be softer.
Chances we might shoot your strut through the roof.
I don't know. It runs like
we'll see.
a little more forgiving in the back.
Yeah, it feels
Like you don't feel,
different in the back.
yeah, definitely.
But I also kind of feel a
little more
like,
sway.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. See, that's the downfall of it then. So the days you want to be comfortable, you gotta 9 clicks left.
Yeah, before race day. Hold
Before
on,
race
let me
day.
get under my car, stiffen it up.
It's definitely softer, but it's not. Okay, yeah, it is softer because before it was more abrupt of a thing. Now it's kind of like, it's like kind of goes like this. Before you said.
No, but I remember when I was more stiff, when I had it in the middle, like
It was
I felt
everything.
every little freaking thing, and like even bumps sounded hard. Like
yeah.
It wasn't like
It wasn't forgiving at all.
Yeah.
There was no suspension. Yeah, what would you rate the kit overall? Like from installation, reliability, comfort, you know, conveniency with the controller. Just an overall rating.
I would give it a good. Are you asking like on a scale of 1 through 10?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 through 10.
I would give it. Me personally, I would give it a solid 8.59.
Yeah, okay.
I would give it a good.
Not bad.
I would give it a good.
What improvements do you think AIRLIFT could make if they're watching this video today?
See, it's hard to say because, like I said, when I sit in different cars that have the same kit, each car rides different. So I don't know whether to blame it on, you know, AIRLIFT themselves, or is it the car, or is it us?
Makes
is
sense,
it the way
makes
we're
sense.
installing it? I don't know, but
I guess if we play with it more one day.
yeah, maybe if we had the time to really dial it in and really get down to the science of it,
Yeah.
I'm sure there would be a way better ride quality. But like Daniel said earlier, we maxed out the suspension and we're riding off air pressure.
Yeah,
That's not what AIRLIFT
designed it for.
Yeah, that's not what they recommend it for. So it's kind of hard to tell, but for our needs and our purposes, I would give this a 9 all day, guys. I would give this a solid 9. We had this in for a while, 15,000 miles, close to 20,000 miles down the road, and no issues.
Just for people that are wondering, this is the AIRLIFT, obviously shocks, or I mean struts, with the 3P. It doesn't have the height sensors or anything. We're just using pressure, and yeah, that's pretty much on the kit, just to make sure that anyone's wondering.
But we're gonna go ahead and head back to the house, and let's talk about the pros, the cons, and whether this kit is worth the money or not. All right, guys, back at the house. So some pros to it. The install wasn't as hard. I think the hardest part was pretty much deciding how you want your trunk. So that could really vary on how difficult the job is. What was your take on the struts and the airlines?
Installing the kit was pretty straightforward. It's just like doing, I guess, coilovers on any car. And if you can do coilovers on a car, and you can do subwoofer wiring or amp wiring, you know, sub wiring for a car, it's pretty much the same. It's just you want to make sure routing the lines, you know, you got to think, you know, what can hit, if anything can hit. You want to make sure you tuck everything up, and make sure you zip tie, or, you know, you mount all your lines. And you don't want to be drilling through a lot of spots in the car, so you just want to find factory access holes to route the lines in, you know. And other than that, I mean, installation wise, I give it a breeze. It's a 10 out of 10 for me on that.
Back to the quality ride, like I said, guys, it's kind of hard to give a good, honest score on it, because our setup is not set up the way AIRLIFT recommend. But if we are going just based off of our setup and the way I like it, I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10, guys. We mentioned before, like, nothing rides like factory, but I mean, I have no complaints is the best way I can explain. I have no complaints. It's not too bouncy. It was bouncy at first, like I said, but that's when we softened up the damping. And I think if you spend enough time dialing your stuff in, and you really take the time to dial it in and get the air pressure right and everything good, I think it'll be a breeze for you guys. Well, I think you guys will love the kit. I think the ride quality will be there. So in my opinion, I give that a 9 out of 10.
What cons do you think that comes to mind about the kit? Like, you know, what would you change if you were to change anything about the kit?
You know, that's kind of hard. I'm trying to think back at our install video, and when we installed this kit, we didn't really run into major issues. We honestly kind of breezed through it, and you know, it doesn't go like that for everybody. Hopefully you guys don't run into issues, but for us, we didn't really run into issues that day. So it's kind of hard to point out some cons to it, because like I said, it was kind of a breeze for us. I don't know if you remember anything that we ran into or anything that...
Only thing that kind of, you know, is going to vary from car to car is whether if you go 1/4 inch line or 3/8 line, you know, that's kind of, it's not a con on the kit. It's just, you know, how you want to, which way you want to go. But routing the 3/8 line obviously is going to be a little harder. Thicker line, less flexible. It's not really a con, but only thing I did notice, since he doesn't have his controller mounted, he mentioned earlier that his wire, you know, sometimes loose, and it doesn't, the controller doesn't turn on, you know, or, you know, it's kind of glitchy, just like a phone charger, as some may say. But it's not AIRLIFT's fault. There's nothing wrong with their kit. It's just, make sure if you guys do have the kit, make sure you guys mount the controller, or, you know, you don't have the wire dangling around. You know, we always put our stuff to the test in a way that a lot of people are probably not going to put their stuff to the test. So most people probably never had that problem, but it is something that we did notice. Other than that, the kit overall came with every fitting you would need from hardware standpoint. Obviously, we mounted it to hardwood, so we needed different nuts and bolts to mount the tank and compressors to the thing, and we did go with the dual compressors. So a little couple things there, longer bolts, stuff like that. But cons-wise, there's not really much cons to the kit. You know, it's AIRLIFT company. It's the reason we got the AIRLIFT company for this car. Went with AIRLIFT company for this car at least, and I think we should move on to the pricing of the kit. So moving on to the price of the kit, if you go on their website, I'm just talking MSRP stuff. You know, you could probably find it for deals from a dealer, or, you know, people that are having discounts and stuff. The crazy thing about this kit is they actually say It's the same kit for the 250s, 350s, the ISFs, the GS 350s, and the GSF. Or actually, don't quote me on the GSF, but they say it's the same. But going off of their website, the front struts with lines, with the stainless, the braided lines, I'll show you guys right there. It's $1,105 for the fronts, $1,105 also for the rears. The management is, this car went with the 3P setup. So the 3P setup, which this car has with 3/8 line and push to connect ports, so they actually want us to put in which compressors and stuff. So let's just say we want a single Viair, and this tank is it's the billet tank. So I forgot how much we exactly paid for the billet tank, but it doesn't give us an option on here for the billet tank. I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't know if he actually showed you guys, but if you guys want to see a couple pictures and videos of that, we'll include that later. But just one tank, 3/8 line, and let's just say we went no tank. Oh no, it's not available. Let's just say we went with a 2.5 gallon polished finish. It comes out to $2,000 plus shipping and tax, obviously. So
Plus the struts, correct?
no, the strut, yeah, plus the 1,000, 1,100 for the fronts, 1,100 for the rears. So
200 plus how much?
plus 2,000.
So around 4,200.
4,200 plus we added a second compressor and the hardwood and stuff like that. So from start to finish, from pulling the car onto the rack, installing the kit, all the way to the finish to where we're standing right now, I would budget with install, you should be around 5,000 to 5,500, depending on who installs it, who does the hardwood, how you want it. It could vary. It could be more. A lot of people, they like to mount their tanks on the underside of the trunk, and obviously that's going to cost a little more for bracketry and stuff like that. I know some people got their kit used. Obviously it's going to be cheaper, so it can be cheaper, and some people get it from a dealer or get discounts, stuff like that. So it can vary in price. Don't get stunned on the price. Oh, $5,000, that's a little too much out of your budget for the kit. Definitely, if you look around, you shop around, you can find the kit for probably $3,000, possibly possibly cheaper. Probably gonna be around $3,200. And other than that, that's the cost of the kit for a normal Joe just trying to get the kit and install it in the car. I think that price can follow through with a lot of cars. I think the one for my car was about the same price. So if you're looking into the AIRLIFT norm or AIRLIFT Life, expect to pay around that price. Anything you want to say about the price?
I know that price might seem a little hefty when we hit it with you guys, but is it worth it?
Yeah.
If you want my opinion, I think it's worth every penny. I think the quality's there. I think the quality and the manufacturing is there. I think the equipment it comes with, it is all reliable stuff. Like I said, we're going on about 20,000 miles on these things, and we haven't had a single issue.
And also, their customer service is really, really good. You can call AIRLIFT. You have any problems, they're literally work every situation out with you. We didn't have no problem with this car, but I've installed multiple kits, and any issue I had, and something's missing from the kit, if I had a question about a kit, you're not on the phone for 45 minutes. You literally call them. You'll be on hold depending on what time of the day you call, but you'll probably be on the phone with them in 5 minutes, tops. And that's a key thing with me. A lot of stuff doesn't have the customer support. There's a lot of companies that I will call. No, I'm not gonna name any names. I'll call them and I won't get a call back. I won't get an answer. I'll have to leave a voicemail and wait 48 hours, maybe 72 hours to get a call back. And sometimes you'll never get a call back. And by then, most of the time, it's just more convenient to figure out the problem yourself, or do your own research and figure out the problem.
If you guys got any questions about the kit, about installing the kit, or anything that we didn't cover, go ahead and feel free to hit that in the comment section, and we'll try our best to reply to you guys as soon as we can. All right, Psychotic Street Builds, I hope that our review was helpful. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, let us know. But that'll do it for this video, guys. But make sure you guys do not forget about this bad puppy right here. Let's go ahead and make sure you guys stay tuned, because we still got some crazy builds. I know The E46 is taking a while. We're waiting on parts. We're trying to get that going ASAP. As soon as that gets done, we're hoping that this one's done right with her, so they could both roll out together. But besides that, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for next time.